Alright, we're going to get some printer noise, I'm sure, from this. I apologize. The X1C is right beside me. As soon as, if I get another printer, I'm going to move those to a stand over here. That way it's not so close to the mic when I'm trying to talk to you guys. But we're going to take a look at the model. I might have a geometry issue. I don't know. I might not. The reason I'm saying that, because this is the battery. You can see that the edges are slightly rounded. So I was banking on, in this recessed slot, that when I pressed on the battery, it would toggle it upward. That way you can grab it to remove it. Because these edges are rounded, I might be okay, because I did not put any kind of bevel here to allow that to shift. But because this is rounded, I might be all right. We are currently at we got about 15 minutes left for the print, and you can see this weird layer shift right here happened. And I think that I'll have to look at the breakdown and see why that happened exactly. You know, what was going on there that caused that layer to shift. And I have a feeling it may have been right there. Maybe right in this range. So I'll take a measurement and I'll see, you know, at what point. But I think I have a layer shift problem right here, where it does this first layer. But it looks like as I start building the walls, it actually had an issue there, and it created this. And I've seen this before. I don't see it very often, but I have seen it before, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on right there, or what the best way to correct it is, to be completely honest. So I'll have to see. It's transitioning from a solid to the walls, and it just did this around the outside. I'm not sure what's up with that. So I'll need to take a look at that, and then we'll come right back after the product is done. We'll take a look at it and see how functional it is. All right, our print is done. You can see it is beautiful. I do have a problem, I believe, because I did not account for any additional clearances. So I built this precisely to the measurement. So yeah, that's not going to work, I don't think. I'd be surprised if it does. So let's take a look. So this is the part. We'll take the part over and the battery over. Let's make this failure spectacular so we get a good look at it. All right, so I don't think I have clearance, but we'll see. No. I mean, it would go in. Wait a minute. I see what's going on. Okay, so see these pins on the side? These pins on the side extrude. They stick out a little bit. And other than that, I think it would actually fit. I may push those pins in just for the sake of testing. Not to break my own battery, but yeah, I think that's what I can do. Yeah, we can see there. The only thing that's stopping it is those pins. But it is tight. I mean, I wondered if it got down in there, would it actually clear, even if I got those pins to go in and let it go down in. It's a little tight, I'm going to have to go in. I think I'm going to create some clearance for these pins right here on the sides. And then I'm going to create some clearance all the way around. That might be enough. We're close. One of these days I'll think of these variables before I design something. That way I don't have to change. But yeah, I just definitely did not account for these pins, and it's just not going to go in because of that. But other than that, maybe a little bit clearance, and we'll account for these pins, and then we should be in good shape. All right, it just finished I swear, I think you're going to, I think you're going to see me fail today. I think I've made too many compromises from the original design, and honestly, I'm probably going to, I feel like I'm going to scrap this and I'm just going to start all over because I've made too many changes and now it's annoying me. And honestly, sometimes it's just the best thing to do is to just scrap it and start all over. But we'll see. We'll see. But you see, I'm sharing with you real time. I'm not trying to pre-fit anything and trying to save my butt for the video. If we're going to fail, we're going to fail together. So here we go. We made some changes. It is way too flippin' big now. Oh my God, I hate this. I so hate this. Now, okay, you see how I shortened the height because I thought with this whole thing, this function, which obviously works now because the clearances are way too big. So that was the idea, that would be up as high as this, right? And then we just press down, which created that toggle area down in here. So we press down, boom, there you go, lifts it up, and then you can just grab a hold of it and take it out. That was the, but you see, like the geometry is completely jacked. Completely, and I know what I did. So yeah, I knew this was going to be a fail. I printed it anyway. What can I say? My life is a train wreck. Oh yeah, this will be a quick video, right? Jesus, I'm telling you. Hey, I said I was going to share the story. I guess I'm sharing it, right? So what you're seeing here is a completely brand new design. Like, I just scrapped the other one. I literally deleted it and threw it in the trash. It's just, okay. So the new one, the modifications. Number one, the overall height of it is right around 15 millimeters, which covers right up to those little, so we can get her to focus, right up to those little nubs. It'll cover those little nubs. Everything above the nub will be sticking out of the top. All right, abandon the whole rocker thing. You know, I did some, what it was is I did some drafts. I drafted the walls slightly to create that clearance to let it pivot. I don't know what happened. It screwed up the length. It was terrible. And I was trying to not do that groove to accommodate the pins because I just didn't think it would look good. And at this point, you know what? It's just the lesser evil. Having the grooves in it is just the lesser evil. Then the pins fit right down in there. I can keep the sides nice and tight. That way when it puts down there, it actually holds some resistance, so it'll kind of hold it in place. And I won't have to worry about compressing the pins, which could possibly mess the pins up on the battery. So, boom. Problem solved. Like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, quit making everything so complicated. You try to do all this shit, you're doing too much, right? You're doing too much. This is a nice, simple design. There's nothing to go wrong with it, you know, other than maybe me doing bad math. But other than that, and, you know, I did it all in, let's go to edit sketch. You can see I did it all in one sketch. Nice and simple. I actually laid out the trays first. And then I drew the container around it and constrained the container at 5 millimeters all the way around. Now the reason I did that is because what was it? The linear pattern. So I created this one and now linear patterned it over and dictated the 5 millimeters between each one. Now if I make a modification to this sketch, it modifies them all. And not only that, but it will modify the outside because I've constrained it to 5 millimeters. I didn't do that last time. I knew I was supposed to. I knew I should have, and I didn't. When I was making changes, it wasn't changing the entire sketch. It was only changing what I was changing. And then I would have to go through and make multiple changes. It really wasn't worth it. So this way, now if I make a modification, even a slight modification, it will modify the entire model instead of screwing it up like that. So basically what I did here for the notches is I don't know what the proper way to do that was. Maybe you guys can If you guys are more familiar with Onshape than I am, then maybe you can tell me. But basically what I did is I just used section view, and I just kind of went through the sections, came out 10 millimeters, created a 5 millimeter wide groove, 1 millimeter deep. Boom. Next wall, did it again. Next wall, did it again. Next wall, did it again. I can't linear pattern in this direction. I tried to linear pattern. It wants to go this way or it wants to go up, but it doesn't want to go forward. So I didn't know how else to do it. That just seemed like the logical way to do it to me. So there it is. It's done. It's designed. And it's on the plate. It's ready to be printed right now. Quality's looking fine. I'm not changing anything. Strength. I did change the infill density. Am I going to? Yeah, I'm going to change it down to 8. Just because it doesn't need to have that much infill. I mean, in all reality, it just doesn't. Let's take a slice. Let's have a look. Make sure that the slicer is observing our notches. We see them. They look good. And everything else looks good. I'm still using the smooth PEI plate. I have no problems with the smooth PEI plate as long as you don't touch it. The moment you touch it, shit goes sideways. So I'm good. I think if it was a final version, I would probably do ironing, trying to iron the surface. But other than that, I don't think I can obviously sell this one to a local customer and they won't give a shit that the top's not ironed. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to let this run. Then I'm going to show you the finished product. I didn't mean for this to be an insanely long video. But I also wanted to share with you the struggles sometimes when you don't do things right. If I would have done what I did right there the first time, I could have made minute changes without screwing up everything. But because I didn't constrain those proportions to each other, I paid the price. So, but now we're good. Now we're good. I think this is going to print. I think they'll drop right in. I think it'll be fine. And we'll be done, hopefully. Stick with me. It's almost over, I promise. All right, I was busy over here, and I heard the print finish. Ta-da! It looks nice. Looks nice. Where's my scraper? Where's my scraper? There it is. So we'll just remove our purge line like we always do. Get under our print pry loose and pull it out. All right, let's go find out what we have accomplished. There she be, in all her beauty. It needs that. I want it to have a little bit of effort to go in. I don't want it to just drop in. Okay. Perfect. 1, 2. Check the battery level. Can I remove it? And I can remove it. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. The off-stamp battery caddy is now going to be available. Because if you use off-stamps, you know you have 47,000 off-stamp batteries. And it'd be nice to have a caddy. Rotate around. Look at our pin clearance. I could make that slot a little bit smaller, but you know what? It ain't broke. Don't fix it. This turned out wonderful. Nice battery caddy. You can see, put them all in there, walk around. You know what's funny is I had a client come in tonight and he had an off stamp and it didn't have a screen. I remember the old battery didn't have a screen, and guess what? They're not as wide as these. So I'll probably be making a version for the old school batteries too. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Victory is mine after a failure. I'll take it. Adios.